Tom Vialle, pretty amazing debut ride last weekend. Led your first supercross with a whole shot and you were on for a podium. How do you look back at that event? Are you happy with your speed or disappointed you couldn't hang on for third?
Yeah, of course, a little bit of both, but I would say pretty happy. Like for the first supercross was really new for me. Like first time riding supercross, first time in the night in the stadium was pretty huge, to be honest. The rhythm are big. Like when you watch on TV, it's like, oh, that's easy. But when you're there and looking to when you're riding, it's really different. So actually, let's say overall pretty happy. Of course, a little bit pissed with myself at the end to make a mistake like so close to the finish, riding in P3. But no, overall was good. Yeah.
On the track, just walking it here, it's a lot more narrow than it looks on TV too. It's lane. Did you feel that riding or?
On riding, it's a little bit better, to be honest. But when you walk the track, you're like, oh, this is huge, this is big. On the bike, it's a little bit smaller, to be honest. So that's not good. But it's really like it's not wrong, you know. The rhythm are really sharp, so you need to be precise, and that's what we work on training during the week. So yeah, I'm pretty okay and happy with how the week's training goes, and also last weekend on the race, my riding on the track was pretty good. So yeah.
And did you expect to be running top 3 pace in your first race, or did you expect to come in and work your way up?
Yeah, to be honest, no, I didn't expect to be so quick, like up in front with those guys. Like if you take like Hunter and all those guys in front, they're riding for so many years supercross, and they have a lot of experience during the race also, because doing training is something, but doing the race is something else. And it was pretty nice. I still have a lot to learn, and that's why we are here.
And how have you found the adaptation to living in America? Are you based here in Florida with Alden Becker and things?
Yeah, right.
How's that all been for you compared to training in Lommel and Belgium?
Yeah, for sure different. Like today, the weather is like this every day, so it's really hot. I'm training out, but I was also training out in Belgium, let's say.
Yeah.
So let's say the training is not really different, but what makes I think more hard here is the heat. It's really hot and humid every day, so you sweat a lot. And riding supercross for me is new for my body also.
Yeah.
It's much more intense than doing a 30 moto minute in Lommel, for example. Physically, it's also hard, but different. I think it's a lot different, so I need to get used to it. In 3-4 months, it's pretty difficult to get used. But I'm getting better each week, and yeah, it's good.
At the Motocross of Nations, Iago jumped on a 450 and he was running with Eli. Maxime won a race as well. You've obviously raced them for years. Did that give you any confidence coming over here that you could be up there, obviously especially outdoors, but even just coming into the supercross season?
Sure. Like when you see Iago was riding really nice in the nation, we fight the whole year together, so we have the same speed, I think. So it was pretty nice to see him in front and ride with Eli, and to be straight. He jumped on the 450 like only 2 weeks before, I think. So to be straight up in front and have that speed is pretty nice to see. Yeah.
And just on your world title, that was one of the most incredible last rounds I've ever seen. You made a mistake, you got Iago, you made the mistake, he crashes and you won the title. How was that for pressure? Yeah, you don't really make many mistakes, but that was, the two of you were setting a white hot pace as well.
Yeah, right, it was a crazy race. Just remember that, like, was if you watch after the race, you'll have more pressure than when I was on the race. Like, it was okay, you know, you don't think so much about it, so it was really a nice battle with Iago, like, it was so close, so it was a nice season also, battling with him all the year. Yeah.
And you're getting a lot of support from your GP colleagues, even Iago, I'm sure, is happy to see how well you're doing. Is that nice to see all the support from him?
I think, you know, like we ride together, so when you come somewhere else and you do pretty okay, it's nice to see that the guy you're riding with can do it there, so I think, yeah, it's pretty nice to see.
So I'll be in Hawkstone in 2 weeks, it'll probably be cold and wet. Do you miss those pre-season races and training normal?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Hawkstone is a tough race, it's raining I think every year, so yeah, it's a nice race.
Brilliant, thank you very much and good luck.